Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at a ShadowCraft deck for Unlimited, and this one is your pretty traditional mid-shadow, excluding the fact that we are running a single Tyrant, which is actually a fairly decent card overall. I am also running only 2 Ceres. I would run 3, only have 2. We'll get that out of the way immediately so we don't end up with 100 comments saying why aren't you running 3 Ceres. She is an amazing card. I am just lacking that third one, and at the moment, since I'm saving for the mini expansion and stuff, I just don't have the vials and things to do anything crazy right now. So, since this is a class I don't play as often, cutting a card like that really isn't a big deal to me. So, overall, again, running mostly the mid-range engine for the early and the late game, only really having something interesting in Tyrant as its main kind of extra. Not that I ever really get to use Tyrant, he's definitely just there as that extra push you may need. So, we're going to get right into this and check it out. So I did find this deck to do reasonably well in the unlimited rotation, the unlimited meta, which was quite rough sometimes, especially when you come up against something like Blood. Of course, it does mean some games end up closer than I'd like them to be, but overall was still reasonably solid, and getting a 1-2 drop here is really good. Would be nice if we had a way to curve right out to the Eternal Blade Ceres, but it's not going to happen yet. Blood-Fed Flowerbird. Not the card you want to see when going up against Blood on turn 1. It's nice because they do deal a lot of self-damage, but at the same time, that's not a good thing. At least we do have the Manifest Malice, which is going to do a nice job of picking up the 4-2 kill and going for a couple of damage. And we still have some okay cards to take advantage of. Omen is pretty fine. Well, sorry, Vera is pretty fine. Omen is the other one. Either way, not going to hurt us because they don't have Evo next turn, so leaving it up actually isn't a big issue right this second. And setting up a big enough ward really is going to limit their options. Since I want to take advantage of Lady Grey to get that healing in turn 4, where we, of course, can. And we still have Deadly Dreamer, so we're actually curving this out really nicely while dealing with this board and stopping any kind of storm or rush follower from really crippling us. Of course, Evil Eye Demon, not fun when they've definitely got enough to wipe this board out. At least we have Ceres and a few other cards. Fran does a nice job usually. So a Demon Eater, draw a couple of cards. I'm really lacking on a decent hand, so sacrificing that way is actually okay. Since we would have been left with basically the same options anyway, because we couldn't have played anything else on top of that. Now we get a chance to use Ceres. I mean, why not? So with an Evo, 3-6 is not going to be easy to deal with, especially when you're already taking 3 damage guaranteed when you attack into it. Vera is a good option though, because it will limit that damage to 1. I mean, the only other good option would be the Omen card now, as that would be enough to, of course, destroy Ceres on its own. Doesn't look like they have that though. And we're at 19 health, which is a really good spot to be in at this kind of time in the game. I decided to take advantage of course, Ceres' spell card, lowering the cost of all our cards down a bit. And that worked out pretty nicely, I think. We do have to take a little bit of damage though, and I didn't like that. That did put us at risk. But we now have to deal with this entire board, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So a Death Breath, a free zombie party, and I decided to throw Cerberus. We don't get the extra followers out of it, so that's a little sad, but being able to give all these zombies a decent effect was definitely important. Although I did make the mistake of trading that way. I probably should have just killed off the big Ceres and left them to deal with them. Not that it probably would have made a huge difference. So that's definitely rough when you're a Blood player, not being able to deal with this board in the most effective way possible. But for us, we get 7 damage, so that's nearly perfect. So another Blood Pact, and this time a Darkface Bat. Wiping out the 5/6, pretty predictable. Fortunately for us, thanks to Dreamer, we're going to get the Gremory play to go off really effectively for easily 9 damage. Total of 10, which does, of course, end the game. And for the next match, we're up against Forest. This is not one I go up against a lot in Unlimited these days, as I have seen a sharp decline in Forest players in both Rotation and Unlimited currently. At least myself, that's what I've been seeing. Mostly I think it's because they're lacking any big powerhouse cards. Their Roach combos are kind of some of their best plays. I mean, the deck you're going to see here is actually still pretty impressive, but overall I think it's just lacking something that could push it right over the edge to broken, but we'll see. So we're starting off again with a not perfect hand. Deadly Dreamer is good. We have a few decent options. It's just really putting those options to use. And now, since they didn't decide to full-on trade, we should be pretty safe. We actually get a decent chunk in. Getting that 1 damage, 1/20th of their health. Now I do need a way to deal with this owl, and I decided the best way to do so was going to be Friend's Attendant, since the Evo on it will automatically kill it off and I don't really have to like double sacrifice cards and do anything like that. Plus I actually get to keep something else on board, which could be an advantage if we end up with something else to use. Paradise Vanguard's a little rough though, because of course it is a banish. I didn't like having to deal with that. And that actually worked out. Getting Hound, going to do a wonderful job. Cerberus just kind of buffing all of these and letting me trade in. So now it's not completely useless 0-1. Beauty and the Beast. Not a card you want to see come down onto the board in a time like this, since it is very painful to deal with. We do have the Lurching Corpse play. We can at least throw up a ward. It's really all we've got. Sarkwill, not good either. That means they're definitely going to get, of course, Israfil. So they are playing, of course, neutral. We did get a bit lucky removing the Israfil, so it means they can't reuse that one, so we've at least killed the one Israfil off. And we are prepared for this Demon Lord play. Dealing with this entire board. I don't know whether using the Evo was actually a good idea. I decided to do it because, of course, with 2 more Demon Lords and the fact that we have zombies, I thought it would be the best way to hold on to a couple of followers, which could potentially, of course, save us. Elf Twins Assault, though, kind of ruined that idea. And it got even harder once they played Whispering Woods. At least Zombie Party has a chance to go off, so again, that's some more board to use with the other Demon Lords. And potentially, of course, boost our shadows up. But another Israfil, ruining my happiness. This is definitely one of the tougher matchups because, of course, going into the late game against a Beauty and the Beast deck is never a fun thing to do. So, dual trades. And the chance to go for the Demon Eater. It's not the best thing to do on this, but when you're really lacking in draw power, it's probably the only option. So a second Beauty and the Beast. And this time a Happy Pig. So I can't really use Demon Lord to remove this, so that's going to be completely ineffective. Cerberus seemed like the best bet otherwise. At least I have a chance here. And I did decide to send that into the Beauty and the Beast and just set out Deadly Dreamer instead of going face. Since now we've got a very good board, which does pretty much have to be force traded with. And the third Beauty and the Beast. Once you deal with the Beauty and the Beast, the only real issue will be the Israfil players. Once you can get past those, the game is pretty much yours. It's really just a matter of doing so. Probably could have went for the Skull Beast first. I would have got the extra push and wouldn't have had to waste both of these zombies. But it also meant I wouldn't be able to play Deep Dream, which is actually a fairly decent play. So there is the Israfil. It is going to heal for 4. So I do need a way to, of course, destroy this. Gremory ends up being a really good option. It's not the best option, of course. If I had have had another like drop or something I could have used, it would have been much better. But I mean, it worked. So impartial. Basically, they're just going wide now since we've wiped out pretty much all their big cards. There's really not a lot left for them. And now we just set up our Ceres. We're going to be able to heal with it. The Strix isn't going to be able to kill it, and it's going to have a really hard time dealing with this ward on its own as well. So we're definitely looking at a very, very easy win there once you got past, of course, all those big drops. That was really the only clincher. Once you get past them, you'd be fine. So this deck is definitely something I'd recommend playing if you are looking to do some shadow stuff in Unlimited. It does a very good job and seems to hold its own very easily against most decks. I haven't played 100 games with this deck, but I played a good handful, and I definitely felt like it was one of the stronger Unlimited decks that I've played recently. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. You'll find the link in the description below. Until next time, see ya.